Do you know what the deadliest viruses known to mankind are? Viruses, these microscopic invaders, hold the power to cause severe illness and even death. They've left a significant mark on human history, causing distressing outbreaks and pandemics. Today, we're going on a journey through the microbial world, counting down the top 10 deadliest viruses that have threatened human life. From Ebola to COVID-19, each virus tells a unique tale of survival and devastation. Join us as we unveil the top 10 deadliest viruses, starting with number 10. At number 10, we have the Ebola virus. This lethal pathogen is known for causing Ebola virus disease, or EVD, a severe and often fatal illness in humans and non-human primates. The virus is transmitted to people from wild animals, then spreads through human-to-human contact, making containment a significant challenge. Outbreaks have been noted sporadically in Africa, and each one has brought about considerable mortality rates. Ebola is not just a disease, it is a tragedy that unfolds in episodes, each one taking a significant toll on human lives. Its high mortality rate, coupled with the ease of human-to-human transmission, makes it one of the deadliest viruses known to mankind. Although efforts are being made to combat this disease, the threat of Ebola remains very real. Ebola virus, a deadly pathogen that has claimed thousands of lives. Coming in at number 9 is HIV/AIDS. This formidable adversary is none other than the human immunodeficiency virus, or HIV. It's a cunning destroyer, targeting the very mechanisms our bodies use to combat diseases, our immune system. Once it infiltrates our defenses, HIV can lead to acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, better known as AIDS. This is the most advanced stage of HIV infection, where the immune system is so heavily compromised, it can no longer fight off even the simplest of infections. The global impact of HIV/AIDS is staggering. Since its discovery, it has caused millions of deaths worldwide, leaving an indelible mark on entire generations. But here's the sobering truth. AIDS is often a death sentence only when left untreated. With the right medical intervention, those with HIV can manage the virus and live long, productive lives. HIV/AIDS, a relentless virus that continues to pose a global health crisis. This is why we must continue the fight against it. At number 8, we find the rabies virus. This deadly pathogen is a silent threat that hides in the saliva of infected animals. It usually finds its way into humans through bites or scratches, essentially turning our furry friends into inadvertent carriers. From dogs to bats, any mammal can potentially harbor this lethal virus. Once it enters a human body, the rabies virus begins its sinister journey, traveling through the nervous system towards the brain. This progression can take weeks or even months, with the infected person remaining symptom-free during this incubation period. But don't be deceived by this silent progression. When symptoms like fever, headache, and eventually fear of water or hydrophobia emerge, it's a dire warning sign. By the time these symptoms develop, the disease is almost always fatal. Early treatment is the only hope, but it's a race against time. Rabies virus, a deadly disease that is almost always fatal without early treatment. Number 7 on our list is the hantavirus. It's no small fry in the world of deadly viruses. Hantaviruses are a group of viruses spread mainly by rodents such as rats, mice, and voles. When humans come into contact with the urine, droppings, or saliva of these infected rodents, they can contract the virus. There's also a risk from breathing in airborne particles from rodent droppings or nesting materials, particularly in enclosed spaces like attics or sheds. Hantaviruses are known to cause 2 severe acute respiratory diseases: hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, HPS, and hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome, HFRS. These illnesses are nothing to scoff at. They come with high mortality rates, making them a serious public health concern. Symptoms can range from fatigue and fever to more serious complications, like respiratory distress or kidney failure. Hantavirus, a deadly pathogen that can lead to severe respiratory illness. At number 6, we have the Marburg virus. The Marburg virus is a severe and often fatal illness in humans. This pathogen is a close relative to the Ebola virus, both belonging to the Filoviridae family. The origins of Marburg virus disease, or MVD, can be traced back to wild animals, specifically fruit bats. These bats serve as natural hosts for the virus, Once the virus has been transmitted to humans, it can spread through human-to-human transmission. This typically occurs through direct contact with the blood, secretions, or other bodily fluids of infected persons. The virus can also be transmitted through exposure to objects such as needles that have been contaminated with these fluids. The mortality rates of MVD are alarmingly high, often ranging between 25 and 90%. The exact rate can vary depending on the outbreak, but it's clear that Marburg virus disease is one of the deadliest known to mankind. Marburg virus, another deadly pathogen with a high fatality rate. Coming in at number 5 is the Lassa fever virus. This virulent pathogen is the culprit behind Lassa fever, an acute viral hemorrhagic illness. The Lassa virus holds an insidious nature, disguising itself in common rodents found in sub-Saharan Africa. These unsuspecting creatures serve as the main carriers, transmitting the virus to humans through their urine and droppings. The Lassa fever virus can spark a range of symptoms, from mild ones like fever and weakness, to severe complications like hemorrhagic fever and multi-organ failure. What makes this virus particularly daunting is its high mortality rate, especially in severe cases, making it a formidable foe in the world of infectious diseases. Despite its regional prevalence, the Lassa fever virus has the potential to spread, given the right conditions. This makes it not just a local concern but a global one, Lassa fever virus, a significant threat to public health in affected regions. At number 4, we find the Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever virus. This is a tick-borne viral disease that inflicts severe hemorrhagic fever in humans. It's a nefarious disease, lurking in the seemingly innocuous ticks that latch onto livestock and wild animals. Humans can contract the virus through the bite of an infected tick or by coming into contact with blood or tissues from infected animals. But it doesn't stop there. The virus can also spread from human to human through contact with the blood, secretions, organs, or other bodily fluids of infected people. The aftermath of the infection is nothing short of devastating. High fever, muscle aches, dizziness, and neck pain and stiffness often mark the onset. As the disease progresses, severe bleeding, liver failure, and multiple organ dysfunction can occur. It's a formidable opponent, with a high mortality rate and a wide geographical spread that includes many countries in Africa, Europe, and Asia. Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever virus, a severe disease that poses a significant threat to human health. Number 3 on our list is the Nipah virus. This lethal pathogen, found primarily in South and Southeast Asia, is a prime example of a zoonotic virus, one that jumps from animals to humans. Specifically, fruit bats act as natural hosts for the Nipah virus. The transmission of this virus to humans can occur in several ways. It can be through direct contact with infected animals, particularly fruit bats or pigs. It can also happen by consuming food contaminated by the saliva or urine of infected bats. Sometimes human-to-human transmission occurs, particularly in healthcare settings. Its effects on the human body are chilling. It can cause severe respiratory illness and encephalitis, an inflammation of the brain that can lead to coma within just 1 or 2 days. There's no specific treatment for Nipah virus infection yet, making it a formidable foe in the world of infectious diseases. Nipah virus, a deadly pathogen with the potential to cause outbreaks with high mortality rates. At number 2, we have the Zika virus. This is a virus primarily transmitted to humans through the bite of an infected mosquito. Unlike many of the viruses we've discussed, most cases of Zika virus infection are relatively mild, with symptoms including fever, rash, and joint pain. However, what sets Zika apart is its potential to cause serious birth defects when a pregnant woman is infected. The most notable of these is microcephaly, a condition where a baby's head is significantly smaller than expected, often due to abnormal brain development. Other neurological complications can also occur, leading to developmental issues and lifelong challenges for the affected children. While the Zika virus may not present a significant threat to the general population, it poses a serious risk to pregnant women and their unborn children. It's a stark reminder that even viruses with generally mild symptoms can have devastating effects in certain circumstances. Zika virus, a significant threat to pregnant women and their unborn children. And finally, at number 1, we have SARS-CoV-2, the virus responsible for the COVID-19 pandemic. This novel coronavirus emerged in late 2019 and rapidly spread across the globe, causing millions of deaths. The virus primarily transmits from person to person, often through respiratory droplets when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks. While many people with COVID-19 experience mild symptoms, the disease can be severe or deadly for others, particularly older adults and individuals with underlying health conditions. Symptoms can range from fever, cough, and shortness of breath to loss of taste and smell, highlighting the diverse clinical manifestations of this disease. Despite global efforts to control its spread through measures like social distancing, mask wearing, and widespread vaccination campaigns, COVID-19 continues to pose a significant threat to public health. SARS-CoV-2, the deadliest virus on our list, has caused a global health crisis unlike any other. And there you have it, the top 10 deadliest viruses known to mankind. From the fatal Ebola, the immune-attacking HIV/AIDS, the almost always fatal rabies, to the respiratory-disrupting hantavirus, the severe Marburg, the acute Lassa fever, the hemorrhagic Crimean Congo fever, the encephalitis causing Nipah, the birth defect causing Zika, and the globally impactful SARS-CoV-2. These diverse pathogens represent the ongoing challenge of combating infectious diseases worldwide. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, knowledge is the first step in prevention.